Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. I'm Siobhan, and in today's reading, we're going to be leaving it sort of open topic. So, whatever wants to come through from Spirit, whatever messages would like to be relayed at this time. And we've got the three groups as usual. Group number 1 is the Sacred Ecosystem card. Group number 2 is the Support card. And group number 3 is Crossroad of Destiny. There's also 3 additional cards, one for each of the groups that came out, and I felt called to leave them face down. They're actually just underneath of these significators, and we'll reveal those when we get into the individual readings. If you feel called to more than one group or card, feel free to allow your intuition to guide you and your personal resonance with the messages to be your guide in regard to what is for you and what is not. Sometimes some things will resonate and others won't. So just, again, use your intuition as a barometer of what feels resonant with you. All right, make your selection and use the timestamps or the chapters below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the Sacred Ecosystem card. It's Ascended Master Kuthumi and Moss Agate, Crystal Master number 333. So this is an open topic reading. Whatever messages want to come through, we're just going to allow that to happen. Now, there was an additional card that came out for each of the groups, which I haven't looked at yet. So let's see what that is. Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper Goodwill. Crystal Goddess number 888. Okay, so I think actually, let's do it the other way around. I'm going to put that one on top because that was the significator. And Goodwill underneath. Goodwill is the foundation or the making of this sacred ecosystem is kind of what I'm picking up on so far. This card also, while I was pushing another deck out of the way to make room here on the table, this one fell off and I felt called to leave it and use it in the reading. So we'll find out what that one is. And then I've also got these decks that we're going to be using today for the reading. I actually want to wait to reveal this one. So I'm just going to kind of stick it over here on the side. And let's go in with the Gateways deck. Okay, so for group number 1, thank you. Future. I just heard the word proximity, which is interesting because proximity talks about closeness in terms of distance, or how far away something is. So maybe the future feels quite far away. Or this sacred ecosystem that's built on goodwill feels like something that is within your proximity, or it's meant to, is kind of what I'm getting here. Is I think for some people it's going to feel like it's far away, like it's in the future and the future never comes. But I've intuitively, I'm feeling like Spirit giving this energy of actually, no, it's closer than you think. It's much closer than you think. Celestial realm, because there's no separation, right? So everything that you think is far away from you is actually right there. The celestial realm is right there. The future is right there. The sacred ecosystem, a world worth living in, I just heard, a world worth living in is actually right there. And it feels like there's support in building or creating this as well. Because the window in behind her, I don't know if you can see it there on camera with the lighting the way it is, but the arched window behind her is reminding me of the 3 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. And it feels like this is about building together, creating. Heaven and earth is what it feels like. Ascend. Okay, so this could even be talking about ascension in general, like the collective ascension. Actually, I heard a word recently and I liked it. Inscension. Ascension within. So everything that you need is at your disposal. Growing. I didn't mean to say growing. I meant to say group number 1. And you could be literally growing right now spiritually in a way that is allowing you to raise your frequency, connect with the celestial realms, because there's multiple, and tap into and or create the future. It's just a frequency. Olympus, getting higher up, some kind of a higher vantage point here to be able to see the world through. Not necessarily looking down on the world, but seeing it through this bird's eye view or this lens or perspective allows you to have perspective on what it is that the future may hold. Oneness. Yeah, I did mention everything is one. Here it is. And the bridge between you and the future, you and the celestial realm, you and the ascension of the earth, you and the gods is within you. It is in oneness. It's not separate. It's not at some distant location or time. It's not in some other dimension, although it exists there as well. It is inside of your heart. It is in your everyday simple acts of kindness. The future is built on the backs of those who wish to do better and to do more each day, not because it's the right thing to do, but because they are operating from oneness. This higher frequency is much larger in proportion to what builds. Something about to scale, I'm hearing to scale, building something to scale, maybe like scaling an idea or scaling what can be created in the future and scaffolding it so that it's practical in the physical human realm. But what I was getting there for a second was more this idea of how taking this concept of oneness and goodwill to create a healthier world in which to live in, not just globally speaking, but individually, subjectively, your personal reality, making it a much healthier ecosystem for you to live within. It feels as though this higher vibrational frequency of connection and oneness and goodwill, good intention is much stronger in shaping the future than low vibration of fear, doubt, which is all coming from separation and the illusion of that, right? Because separation is just an illusion. Like, for example, you and I are not separate. That's an illusion. We're one. Peace. And there's something about this that's very much connected to building a more peaceful world. And I just heard peaceful world view. It's a higher perspective. This looks like an eye almost, and it's a bridge, and you have that here as well. This is the Gateways deck, so it's got a lot of that kind of symbology or imagery to it. But it feels to me, group number one, like your ability to see through the eye of God, which is oneness perspective, is allowing you access to these future potentials or future timelines and the higher vibrational frequencies that are going to assist you in creating that. And there's victory in it. This guy crossing the line, as soon as I pulled this out, I was like, oh, Olympus, it feels like Olympic Games. Like, you've trained for this. You've trained for this, and now you're competing at this very high level. Something about silver, gold, bronze, not as tokens of appreciation for a job well done, but more so as frequencies themselves. Something about the periodic table is coming up right now as well. Let me move these over. Something about the periodic table. Elements. Okay, right, because those are elements. They're metals, but they're elements. And freedom. She's coming out of the cage. A cage of some kind of false limitation when it comes to perception and the way that things were able to be seen as achievable or not achievable. Underworld. Plutonian, I just heard. Okay, plutonium would be one of those elements on the periodic table. Plutonian is this underworld realm. So Zeus being the god on Mount Olympus, and Pluto, well, that's actually Roman, but Hades being lord of the underworld, represented by the planet Pluto. So this could, and Pluto moved into Aquarius, which is this herald of the age of Aquarius and this ascension process of the earth. So I feel as though group number one, that this is a process you've been very much participating in. Look what's under underworld, descend. And part of ascending is descending. They happen simultaneously. The further you go up, the lower you go down. The lower you go down, the further you're capable of going up. It's not separate. The duality, the separateness is an illusion. It's all one. So there's a sort of, okay, hold on. I just heard something about the nature of peace, the nature of a peaceful, loving soul, and how that gives to the world. Something being lent to you, I just heard as well, or leaning, being able to lean on people. Lending, something about, okay, they just said be a good neighbor. Yeah, goodwill, be a good neighbor. Could be literal, or this could be a metaphor for, do to thy neighbor as thy would have done unto you, or whatever the quote is there. So there's freedom from this descent into the underworld through this awareness, this perspective, this vibrational frequency shift. Because when you change your perspective, your vibration changes right along with it. It's as easy and simple as that. Now, there can be a lot of work that goes into it, but I'm seeing here that something that you've done vibrationally has shifted not something that you've done, literally this perspective shift that you're able to hold now, group number one. That's what you've done there. That's creating this peace and this vibrational rise in the frequency, which is the ascension of that frequency. It's higher. But you may have had to go down into those depths to descend into the underworld to piece together, I'm hearing forbidden or hidden knowledge, hidden or forbidden knowledge about the self, about the nature of reality, heaven and hell as dualistic archetypes or as experiences of happy and, joy and pain. Those would be the emotional equivalent of heaven and hell, I would say. Suffering and exuberance. Clear endeavor, 11:11, right as I held that up. So feels like there's a network of people. I'm seeing all of these white birds that just caught my eye. That's very angelic type energy, like white feathers and white feathered beings. The swans in the background here, I'm hearing something about liminal space. They corrected me, liminal space. The white owl, there's white goose there, a bunch of white animals. So there's something about that frequency, that purity of white, or yin energy could be part of this as well, because white and black, it's the other way around, isn't it? Black is yin, white is yang. But I'm getting a lot to do with duality and polarity, and integrating that oneness is giving you this clarity, crystal clear mind, crystal clear endeavor that is allowing you to shape what it is that you experience, not even just what you create here on earth, but like literally what and how you experience your world, your reality. I just heard you can change the world by changing yourself. And yeah, that's very, very true. Especially from this oneness vibration. We have show your support. I just heard technical details, which was quite loud when I held up this card. Technical details, show your support. Okay, I just heard the word fibromyalgia. That could be for someone very, very specific. They're saying technical details again. The white rose. I'm just noticing the white flowers here as well. Okay, so again, they're drawing my attention to these white plants and animals, the sacred ecosystem, the purity. The color white is that, they said holistic, and then they showed me a prism where the white light goes through the prism and then is separated into the color spectrum. They're saying something about segmented. Okay, thank you. They said segmented time, and then they pointed me back to the future card. So I feel like there's some technical details that Spirit is lending you, group number 1, that's going to help you to work within the environment that you're in, including the spirits of the animals, the spirits of those who are benevolent and wishing to work with you, or you are wishing to work with, as well as the plant kingdom, the earth itself, and other fellow light workers. This is definitely a light worker group. No doubt about that in my mind. Hope and happiness. And you're here to embody both frequencies on either end of the spectrum. So it's not all just love and light, hope and happiness, although those are the highest truths in unity. But those underworld things, pain, suffering, even hate, those all exist there as well within unity and must be honored. They don't need to be fed or expanded or created more of, but they need to be accepted, integrated, so that there's freedom from them. Freedom from them, so that they don't control you. You hold them gently and they don't affect you. Culmination of vision. So there's definitely something that you're seeing more clearly. I was noticing that bridge. It reminded me of an eye, clear endeavor, culmination of vision. You have this heightened perspective or heightened awareness as a result of this raising of the frequency through this shift in vibration, through this shifting perspective. There could be some time needed to integrate this vision. I haven't used this deck in a while. The tree did stand out to me there with the culmination of vision, that big tree. And then we have 7 of Earth with oak. 7 of Earth talking about time. That's funny because I literally just said there you could need some time to integrate this vision or this new perspective. It can take some time. You can shift in an instant. It can happen just like that. But the integration of it to the level of embodiment that needs to occur may take some time. So the shift is occurring, group number 1. But you're being called to have patience with the harvest of that, or this being able to literally see that or interact with it in your physical reality. Because right now you may just be holding it as a vision, as a frequency, as a reality template. I just heard reality template. Now they're showing me like programming a computer and those technical details of, okay, what do we need to do to make this version of reality in the way that we have imagined it? Or like screenplay, if you're creating one, say for example, you're creating a screenplay and you want to set the scene and make sure that all the details of that scene are accounted for in setting the tone, the mood of the vision that you want to express and the emotion that's held within it. Oak is also seen as a portal or gateway, so again, this seems to be a theme, and I was called to these decks for all of the readings, so that seems like a collective thing that's going on right now. Okay, that's random, but I just heard there's wisdom held in mischief. There's wisdom held in mischief. That's going to apply to somebody very directly, they're telling me. And the world, if we look at this from a world level, as the world is coming out here, and I was feeling that something about like your world and the much larger world, everybody in it, there's a lot of mischief. There's a lot of stuff in the underworld, and that's okay. It's part of oneness. It's part of the duality. But our separateness from it's it and each other. Okay, hold on. I'm hearing the wisdom to know the difference. Oak has to do with wisdom. The wisdom to know the difference. And it reminds me of fairies and fae folk as well. And they're notorious for being mischievous. Whether it's benevolent or malevolent is dependent on the individual or the energy through which you or they are working with. But there's something about mischievousness and understanding what that really means in this context of whatever it is you've been exploring here, group number 1, that applies to this higher vision for the world and you cultivating that within yourself. Okay, we have, what is this? Curandera of Earth. I'm not actually sure what this card is. It looks like she's braiding sweetgrass there. Braids. There could be 3 potential timelines that are being braided together. Oh, this could even be, we don't often think about past as timelines, but the past is different timelines. So past, present, and future. 3 timelines woven together. And experienced as the ever-present now. The oneness. Trinity. 1, 2, and 3 made one. Oh yeah, that's right. The three gold, silver, bronze as well. Something about 3 and 3 places. And they're saying technical details again. So there's something about the number 3 or those aspects of 3 that were mentioned here that are relevant to those technical details. 8 of fire, ginger. 8 of wands. I heard stimulation. 5 of fire, black cohosh. I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something about purification in your environment. Curandera of air. Okay. I just heard, let's take a closer look. Maybe you're being called to take a closer look at something. Those technical details are calling your attention. 2 of fire, bee balm. And I was just going to say, the tools really stood out to me. And now it says tools right there, garden tools. Something about the tools that you're using or how to use those tools technically. The technical wisdom to know what to do. Okay, thank you. That's what Spirit just said. The technical wisdom to know what to do. This could be something that you are lending to others, because they're showing me a neighbor asking to borrow some garden tools. And it feels like in this example, the neighbor comes to you and asks, and you're like, yes, I can lend that to you. No problem. I'm not using it right now. Or I can give it to you and show you how to use it. Yeah, okay, thank you. I just heard, hold on, they're saying a lot. They said no more. So something about knowledge here is significant. And then they also said, teach a man to fish, he'll fish for a day. Or what is it? Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So I feel like you may be lending more than just the physical tools to do something. This feels like you're lending someone your knowledge, or even the higher realms lending you this forgotten wisdom or knowledge that you are then remembering, which is causing this shift in vibrational and therefore perspective / vibration, same thing, 2 sides of the same coin, and allowing you to raise the frequency to be able to create more of that which this idea is inspiring you to create. Adelita of air, oregano, inspiration of an idea. Is that like the jankiest little outhouse ever? It's like just a hole in the chair with a bowl underneath. That's so strange. Spirit said it again. They said practical details. Practical details. anytime that I see symbolism to do with toilets or going to the bathroom or anything like that, when it comes up in dreams or I see it symbolically in readings, it's often about this purge, right? This release and getting rid of waste or anything that's heavy. It's excretion. And I feel like this is like the underworld work, the shadow work. And it's valuable. It becomes fertilizer, right? So as you get rid of the things that you have integrated, not get rid, but as you, how do I put this? As you integrate the information, if we looked at it like food, it's like you're digesting the food, you're extracting the nutrients from the food, you're turning that knowledge into wisdom. That's the process of taking, say, for example, the nutrients from the food and then using it. I'm hearing something about in exchange. This could be with higher beings, or I don't even like saying beings, because yes, they are beings, but they're aspects of you. They're in the oneness. Everything's one. There's no separation. So it's all aspects of you that you're communing with or embodying or expressing through. So it feels like this process of extracting the knowledge and turning that into usable, embodied energy is this process of taking it from knowledge to wisdom, like eating something, digesting it, and being able to use that energy. And they're saying it again, in exchange, something about in exchange. There could be an exchange of ideas, either that's given to you through a consciousness download or that comes in through support working with people in your field. People whom you show support to also showing support to you. It feels like, I just heard freedom fences. Okay. And they're showing me hopping over the fences. You and other people. It's like unicorns. That's what they're showing me. Unicorns, again, white. Unicorns hopping over, leaping, bounding over these fences. Anyone, they said kept in captivity, and they're pointing me to the freedom card here. Anyone kept in captivity at a consciousness level is being freed. The high priestess, because this level of wisdom, I'm hearing the word truth. Yes, thank you. Truth is being accessed globally. This is not a one-time deal, Spirit just said. This is not a one-time deal. This is a forever thing. The ascension is permanent. Okay. Yeah. 8 of Earth, turmeric. I heard the word fidelity, which is like loyalty. Something about companionship, they're saying. And there's hope and happiness coming from that. Yeah, they're saying it again, loyalty, and they're showing me the birds. Birds of a feather, right, sticking together. Lots of birds here sticking together. And they're saying it again, technical details. This is so interesting. The tower, mushroom. Well, the thing that's actually standing out to me from this card is not necessarily even the energy of destruction that the tower usually holds. In this case, it feels like divine embodiment, and the mushrooms are feeling like very fast growth. So this ascension process that's taking place currently, I'm hearing winds of change, and they drew my attention to the clothes on the clothesline. That's a synchronicity Spirit's shown me before. I didn't really know what it was in regard to, but now that they just said winds of change and showed me that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about. Sometimes it takes me a while to integrate the messages, the downloads. So this could be what's happening here for you as well. It takes some time to integrate what's being said, but then once that awareness, it's like it just clicks into place. And the growth from there is exponential. I'm hearing exponential is the word they used, and extremely fast. Okay, anything else for group number 1, Spirit? Take time to breathe, I just heard. 3 of air, echinacea. That's so funny because echinacea helps you to breathe. It's good for your lungs. Take time to breathe. And I did see actually that card. I looked underneath and catch your breath was there. But it's just funny that they said that right before that came out. Oh, I love Spirit. Okay, 7 of water. Oh, they said because there's a lot spilling out. There's a lot spilling out. So as things are getting better, some things may look worse. Ooh, because that's the nature of duality. But with this awareness, I was just going to say 9 of air, that's 9 of swords energy. That's again, Hades. The pomegranates, Persephone and Hades. Okay, so the message here, group number 1, is that the descent may make you fear what you're seeing in the outside world, or you may feel overwhelmed by what's coming up to be released or purged or to be excreted. But what's happening is that it's clearing the ecosystem, and it's all occurring due to goodwill, especially if that's what you're in alignment with, right? If that's your intention, that's what you're creating, that's what you're aligned to, that's the frequency you're going to get. But the outside world may look like it's descending or it's entering into chaos, or you could even literally be seeing both ends of the spectrum. One day it's beautiful and it's peaceful and there's so much hope and happiness and support and connection. And the very next day it's chaos and you're like, what happened? But there's a natural process that's taking place with this, and your perspective and holding the vision for this peaceful reality is really what sets the stage or what sets the tone. And they're saying, as soon as I said tone, they showed me like a frequency tone and something about tone of voice as well. Speaking to yourself clearly, I'm hearing enunciate. Enunciate. What do you mean? They're just saying be clear. Be clear. Be clear about what? Okay, turn over this card. Thank you. Horse. In reverse, though, feels like freedom again. And they were showing me the unicorns jumping over the fences, getting out of the paddock. So wild horses. Freeing or untaming the wild parts of yourself could be part of this process as well. That's part of that shadow work. And that's why maybe there's some time needed to breathe and work through some of the emotional layers of that. Because as a collective, this is what's happening. So individually, we can help that process along by doing it within ourselves. The micro and the macro are reflections of each other. The separation, once again, is an illusion. Okay, let's take a look at the card on the bottom here, and then I think we'll close out your reading, group number 1. Madre of Fire, Mother of Fire, time. California Poppy, Heja of Fire. So, something about trial by fire. I'm hearing meditations. Something about, I just heard Mexican. Madre, that's Mexican. I was having synchronicities about Spanish this morning. The specific reference, there was 2 references. One came up in a YouTube short regarding a child being able to speak a language that they were not taught by the parents, and specifically nonverbal autistic children being able to speak languages that the parents don't speak. So the example was 2 English-speaking parents where their child spoke Spanish. And then I had a call with a client, and she was talking about speaking Spanish as well. And she's not Spanish. She's very white. Okay, so, perhaps it's something about learning the language. It's It could be literal or it could be a metaphor, like learning a different language, enunciate, pronouncing something correctly, and the vibrational shift that that creates. Or this could be literally something to do with Mexico, the Mexican grid network. I don't know what that is specifically, but I just heard something about form and function. And they're saying technical details again, okay? So there's a lot here that's open to interpretation. But I think ultimately the message here is to focus on the intention and the alignment to the frequency of goodwill, peace, hope, happiness, oneness. Because anything else that's showing up, it's not that you're meant to disregard it, but you're not meant to focus on it to the exclusion of the experience of those positive intentions. And you're also meant to work with other people to make this come about, if that feels natural to you and you're inclined to do so. Because that level of support can really help to raise the vibration as well. Both supporting yourself, giving yourself time to integrate, and leaning on or lending what is needed from or to others. Okay, group 1, that's the message. I hope it was helpful. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Spirit will do the best. And you take care of the rest. Maybe even like literal rest, like rest your weary arms. I don't know why I want to say that. Anyway, I'll stop. Thank you guys so much for being here on the channel. Thank you to the members who support my work here. If you'd like to become a member, there's 2 tiers that are available. You get early access to videos, ad-free, as well as exclusive content and or live streams where we do readings, direct guidance, personal readings, all of that as well. And speaking of personal readings, thank you to the patients for those who have ordered readings with me in the past couple of months. I'm starting to catch up now and I'm getting to those highest truth readings. So thank you to those of you who have ordered those and who have been patient. I'm going to be starting working on those and then sending them out as I'm divinely called to do and allowed energetically to do. And if you're looking to book a reading, there's availability for some of shorter readings, which are through my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com. It's linked in the description box below. And if you feel called to check out my other channel, where I do collective readings and more sort of channeled stuff and downloads, and it is very ascension based over there as well. So if you're interested in that, and you haven't checked it out, it's called the Divine Channel Collective Readings, also linked below. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the support card, and the additional card that's here, which I haven't looked at yet, is Grace for the Grand Gesture. Archangel Raphael and Malachite. Both of these are crystal angel number 444. Okay. So there's some kind of support, because number 4, even the number 4 speaks of support. I always imagine it like a chair, the 4 legs of a chair that support the weight of whoever sits on it. So it feels like you're getting the grace and the support that you need energetically, angelically, or from those around you. All of the above, I just heard. Okay, all of the above. And let's go in with this deck first, I think. Yeah. So what's the message for group number 2? In addition to the support theme that we're seeing here, Spirit. Voyage. Okay. I'm hearing making amends and making a way. So there could be... Okay, hold on. I'm hearing truth revealed. Tapping in. Conclusion. Or conclusive. Which one? Conclusive. Taking some time off. And then I heard logos. Or logos? Logos. Okay. piecemeal, piecing it together. Something about the support being part of a larger path of protection. And they're showing me an angel, like visually, clairvoyantly, I'm seeing an angel guiding this ship. Like an angel came down from the sky and was like, we're going to take the ship in this direction and make sure that there's no ill weather or anything else that could. I'm hearing defeat the purpose. Interesting. That could defeat the purpose. Because usually when we say defeat the purpose, it's like something excluding something else. Oh, that makes me think of not being excluded because there's support. So there's a lot going on here in your reading, group number 2. Like the theme is still not fully clear to me. I mean, it's clearly about support and direction, but it's like very sort of bits and pieces that I'm getting. Whereas in group 1, it was like a little more fluid. Every reading is different, but the energy I'm noticing is that it's a little bit of bits and pieces. So you could be getting like bits and pieces of support, like one by one, and sort of having to fit them together to see where this is guiding you. Sunrise, and it's actually the same picture that they used on the back of these cards. So there's something about like it's the same on both sides. And transformation. I just heard the sun will rise, and it is sunrise here, but I heard that, and it's like the sun will rise on this new stage of life. And there's going to be support there in doing that. The grand gesture just stood out to me as well. And I'm seeing, this butterfly coming out of the chrysalis and this woman holding her arms out. I'm hearing welcoming the solstice. Welcoming the solstice. When would that, could be winter solstice or summer solstice? Let me see. Seclusion. They did say taking some time off, okay. Most likely because there's something very big about to happen. Graduation. Yeah, graduation. That's pretty big. Group number 2. I just heard big reveal. Commitment. And they're showing me, like clairvoyantly, I'm seeing the veil being down over this person's face, and then the big reveal, like taking the veil off. Taking the veil off. Sunrise of new consciousness. Presence. I heard your perseverance pays off, or will pay off, is actually what they said. Your perseverance will pay off. It took a lot to get to this point. It took a lot to see things change. You may have had to make some sacrifices. You may have felt like you lacked support. I just heard the big 3. No idea what that's referring to, but I heard the big 3. I just heard making way for new things to come in. And wayfinders, they said as well. Celebration. Well, yeah, this big, look, where would you celebrate? When there's a big voyage that's about to take place, when there's a graduation that's occurring, when there's a commitment that's being made, when there's a big transformation that's happening. That's when you, or around some kind of a big astrological event. It's a celebration. Because this big thing, whatever it is that's happening for you, group 2, is worth stopping and being present with, because it's a path that may have been grueling or arduous. That's the feeling I'm getting, weirdly. And it's one that you very much had to commit to. Multiple seasons, I just heard, and they showed me the little daisy here in winter, in spring, summer, and fall. So, oh, you know what that reminds me of? Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yeah, 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 yeah. You've got a friend. So you've got support here, group number 2. You've definitely got support here. Even if you're in seclusion, which means that you've got divine support. I just heard course development, and I'm not sure if it's talking about like a course of study or a course of direction. Beyond fear. Moving through the pathway, I just heard. Moving through the pathway. Beyond fear. Landing. That's so cool that you've got this guy jumping out of a plane here, clearly skydiving, and then the next card out is landing. So you land safely. You get your wings, I just heard. You get your wings. Ooh, that is a graduation, to be sure. That is for sure worth celebrating, getting your wings. Spiritually speaking, it's a huge part of spiritual ascension and embodiment. Activating the light body to the degree that you can hold the frequency of those light wings. It's a huge accomplishment. Magic. Magic. Initiation. And descend. Well, he's jumping out of the plane, which is a descent. And landing safely is a descent. Now, it's interesting because this card actually came up in group 1 as well, and they had a message about support. It was in a different context. But usually when we think about descending, it's like something we don't want to do. We don't want to go down, we want to go up in life, generally speaking, right? But they're showing me something about this descent being towards safety. So it's like you are propelling yourself down the mountain is what they're showing me. It's like you've achieved that height, you've graduated, you've been initiated, or you've passed through the fires, I just heard. The fires of transmutation of will or something. You were tested in some way. I don't know how, but you were tested. That's what they're giving me. And now you are rappelling down the mountain. But they used the word propelling before, propelling down the mountain. But I think that correct term is actually rappelling. So let me see what else, because I feel like adventure. I was going to say, I feel like the dissension here is like you moving into a different state of being. One that exists beyond fear. This balloon rises as well. So there's something about going up and down. I'm hearing Pathfinder and trust. And there's mutual support here going on to clear that gap. Okay. And on the bottom we have exit. Okay. So it feels like the initiation is the exit. Something about walk alone. And then when I heard walk alone, they started singing a lot of music in your reading. I'm noticing, well, it's the second song that they've brought up, and Spirit does that from time to time, not in every reading for sure. But when it comes up specifically multiple times in one reading, I take note of that as well, because patterns all are part of the reading or part of the message. But the song was, who is that? Green Day? I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but only something. Only me and I walk alone. Seclusion, like you've had to walk this alone, but you were never alone. You were never alone. Not truly. There was always someone there reaching out a hand to guide you, to glide you. They're showing me air beneath the wings. Right, as soon as I said that, it was like, you are the wind beneath my wings. Just so many. I'm not going to sing them. I'm not going to belt them all because it's just too much now. But it feels like there's a lot of support here. Now you have fresh approach as well. And I think this is where the adventure is leading you. It's like you've graduated from one state of being or one way of doing things, and you're literally shifting the way that you operate. You're not operating from fear anymore. Like, you know that you're supported. You can take those leaps of faith now. You can trust. You know that you have magic, and you can land whatever of these magical big leaps that you take. Like, it feels very much, group number 2, like you are committed. You've been tested, and you have proven that level of discipline, that commitment, that awareness, that presence. It's not something that is just given. The initiation, the exit, the celebration, the graduation, it's not something that's just handed out. This is something that you had to learn through the experiencing of it. And you may have had to do it alone. But from the soul level perspective, you were never really alone, because I keep seeing that as well. Always a hand to guide. I heard always a hand to guide. And they said, though you see it not. Empowerment. The whole process here has been about empowerment. Oh, I heard mutual empowerment, actually. Mutual empowerment. They said one and the other. Something about a son and a mother. Oh yeah, the sunrise. Son, but son and mother. Trust your own understanding. This feels like you're graduating from a level of thought. You have a much better understanding of it now. Like, if you looked back at when you first started learning this thing, whatever it is, when you were first initiated into it versus where you are now, you may still have a lot of potential things to learn and to grow into, and that's fine. But this one stage, you can trust this level of understanding. You've earned that. Acceptance of love. I'm hearing mutual respect, and then they said the word respite. They're saying take some time off again, and they're pointing me to the seclusion card. This could be for you and someone else, or for you to take some time to go deeper into yourself. Or this may have been what was required in this process of graduating or getting to the exit of something here. There's definitely something about the exchange between you and someone else or something else. On the bottom, we have make a decision and culmination of vision. Making a decision to exit. I'm hearing ride out and ride alone. Then I also just heard you never ride alone. So, okay, this is interesting. What's the decision here? Direction, they said, direction. 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles, the apple. I'm hearing apple of my eye. And the nines are hermit energy. It's reminding me of that seclusion card underneath here. So there's definitely something about independence, autonomy. I'm hearing scale of development. We have the 10 of air, alfalfa, 10 of swords. That's definitely moving beyond the fear. And they just said you reap what you sow, and they're showing me the scythe here. So I feel like if you don't want to reap fear, then don't plant seeds of fear in yourself or others. Don't support that. I also feel like you're being supported in protection from that. 4 of air, 4 of swords, rest more. They said it again, lavender, something about sleep or rest or taking some time off. I'm hearing bounce back. You may have taken some losses here, group number 2, because again, a song came through again, and it was like the line was, last night took a L, but today I bounced back. Mother of Earth, creosote bush. Sorry, that's not centered. Creosote bush. Oh, they said centering the landing. As soon as I realized, like I felt that was significant when it wasn't centered, and I noticed that. And then they showed me this hot air balloon landing on a target. And same thing with the skydiver. It's like knowing generally where you're going to land. And I think the part of this graduation and the celebration therein is that you have managed to land where you intended to land. They said oceans around. They're showing me the voyage card again. Something about, I don't know what that, hold on. Oceans around. Mother of air, motherwort. And 6 of fire, Nostrutium. Nostrutium? How do you say that? Nostrutium? Six of Wands, that's victory. Yeah, there's a lot of scythe imagery here. You've got 1, 2, 3. You got the big one and then the 2 smaller ones. So there's definitely something about harvesting, and I think this is part of the result of this graduation. And then 4 of water, mint. I heard minty, fresh, brand new day. Okay. Sunrise, brand new day. Okay. Wow. So group number 2, this definitely feels like you're coming out of a period of learning, and you're being given grace as a gesture of support for all of the work that you've done. And I'm hearing conclusion again, and the conclusion that you have come to. I'm hearing soft landing. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a soft landing because there's support underneath there. And I think the whole lesson here has been around trust. This is the graduation. It's like you can trust that there will always be a soft landing, even when there are stormy seas, even when it feels like, I just saw a flash. Yeah, the reason I say that was because before they were showing me the angel guiding the boat. I'm hearing the word messenger. Messenger of the gods. But then they were showing me a scene from Moana when, she's she's supposed to return the heart of Te Fiti to the island, and she's chosen by the ocean to do that. But that doesn't mean that she's always protected necessarily. Like, she is, but she may not feel like that. And the reason I say that is because the boat gets overturned, it capsizes, there's a storm. It ultimately pushes her to her destination. It gets her to where she's meant to go, but it's in a bit of a more tumultuous way. So I'm feeling like there was definitely some trials and tribulations here that tested your level of trust. But because you were committed to the journey, or committed to the path, or committed to this adventure, or this level of learning, and the embodiment of it, the solidity of understanding, I just heard. The solidity of understanding. This is what is allowing you to what? It feels like to move on, to move beyond, to exit. I just heard being initiated for the exit. And they're bringing me back to the make a decision card. So you may be in a liminal space right now where you're about to graduate and you have to make a decision about where you want to go next. Because it's like you're done this one level of things and now you have the freedom to be able to explore and do something else. So the decision could be, what do you want to do now? And knowing that you're supported in whatever it is that you choose. But also knowing that making your way forward here is going to be... sorry, they're just giving me a lot right now. I'm just trying to translate what I'm hearing and also speak at the same time. It's a lot. Okay, thank you. They said, making the decision to transcend fear will make roots that are worth harvesting. Okay. Anything else you want to say to group number 2, Spirit? They're directing me to the word homemade. Homemade pies. Homemade. It feels like you did this yourself. You made this. You built this from scratch. You learned this on your own. You did it. And you're ready to move on now. Bigger and better things, perhaps. Whatever you choose, it's up to you. Otherwise, you'll just get bored because you've already learned the lesson, so there's no point going to class. You've graduated. You can go now. But there may be perhaps some hesitation at the very end simply because once the celebration is over and everything's said and done, it's like, okay, what do I do now? So just know that you're being supported. It's not a fearful descent. This feels like a beautiful opportunity to expand your reach, to explore whatever reality you want to explore for yourself. And to choose to do that from trust is what allows you to exit the old pattern or the old system or the old level of learning that you did. You graduated from it and you can move on now. I just keep getting that. So I think I'm going to leave the reading there unless there's anything else you want to say, Spirit. Okay, they said grass is greener and they pointed me to this like lush grass that's here. Usually we say, grass is greener on the other side. And it can have a negative connotation about making sure that you're being present with where you are. And I think that's part of this message. But the other side of that is the grass is greener where you water it, where you nurture it. Oh, Spirit said where you've grown. The grass is greener where you've grown. Oh, I love that. It's like wherever you plant yourself, you renew and support life around you. That is beautiful. So I think your next destination should be on where the grass needs to be greener, group number 2. Because wherever you plant yourself, you're going to make that happen. Okay. Yeah. Big goosebumps. Confirmation. I'm sending you guys so much love for this next phase of your journey, the initiation into this unknown but beautiful exploration of your potential and what comes next. Seize the day. Seize the opportunity. Yeah. Carpe diem. I love you guys. Know that you're supported. You're making your way, making so much progress. I'm so proud of you. Spirit is so proud of you. We love you. And we thank you for being here, both in the reading and on Earth. Yes. Okay. For some of you, this is a karmic pattern because I just heard good riddance to the old me. Good riddance to the old me. It's like you're exiting a way of doing something that your soul was trying to learn for a long time. You're graduating and you're being initiated now into this liminal space of beyond the boundaries or territories that you were once confined to. You're able to move on now. You're able to become whoever you want to be. It's in your hands. Yes. So much love, guys. Thank you so much for being here on the channel, both on the public side, and a big special thank you to the members who support my work financially in that way and who get additional content. So if you want to become a member, you do get access to ad-free, additional members-only content, exclusive readings, and even monthly live streams with me where we do both public readings and also personal ones. Information for memberships is in the description box below. Thank you to all those of you who have purchased readings from me or donated to support my work here and to help me recover from financial deficit. I really appreciate you guys in showing that level of support to me and that grace. It has been a huge blessing, and I have deepest gratitude for all of you who have helped me in that way. And thank you to those who are still waiting on readings or have purchased readings. I'm moving into the highest truth readings now, and I'll be starting those as soon as possible and getting those out hopefully in a divine, timely manner, as always. Much gratitude for patience and understanding, as I'm only able to work when Spirit allows and also when my energy allows. So thank you for that. Oh, and if you're interested in checking out my other channel, the link is below in the description box. It's the Divine Channel Collective Readings. We do more open source readings there, collective readings, channeled stuff, research stuff, ascension, esoteric, all that. So if it calls, feel free to explore. Much love, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right, hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose Crossroad of Destiny, Goddess Hecate and Micah. Crystal Goddess number 888. I'm feeling a lot of power as soon as I get into your energy or into your space, like power, and it's a little overstimulating. It's like intense, intense power. And this is the second reference to Hecate that I've seen today. I was watching a random episode of Murdoch Mysteries and Hecate was referenced. Okay, so yeah, she does have very powerful, I just heard the word magnetic. It's like a this is intense, group number 3. This is really intense. No wonder it's a crossroad of destiny that you're at. Feels like you're magnetizing to something, or you're magnetizing something that's quite intense, or you are feeling magnetic because this level of power that's flowing through you. I'm hearing the word adapting too, or the adapting. Oh, maybe if we're talking about this in terms of electrical power, like electromagnetic power, you would need an adapter to sort of regulate how much of that power, I almost wanted to say plow, like a snow plow. It's all relevant, they're saying. Okay, keep going, thank you. To regulate, I'm hearing what is relevant energetically. Okay, so there's a lot coming through. Let me just ground myself in this energy, and let's go a little deeper. The other card you have is Goddess Lakshmi and dendritic agate, her golden grace, also crystal goddess number 888, which is, yeah, they're not all that number. So this is definitely power, and it's divine feminine power, which is magnetic in terms of polarity. So the feminine polarity is magnetic. The masculine polarity is electromagnetic. Okay, so there's a fire I'm hearing. Okay, never mind. I was going to say something else. I was going to say there's a divine feminine power here that you are stepping into, or that you're holding. Could have something to do with sexuality, because I'm seeing that fire in the sacral chakra. Or you could be burning something off and it's very powerful, or you could be reclaiming your power in regard to the sacral chakra, which can have to do with sexuality. It can have to do with money, which Goddess Lakshmi also governs as well. Boundaries, I'm hearing something about emotional boundaries or interpersonal boundaries. Being able to protect yourself and provide for yourself, this in a feminine way, though, which is interesting, because it's not provide in a masculine polarity, it's provide in a feminine polarity through this magnetic power. 8 also has relationship to money as well. So money, power, karma. They keep saying the word adapting. Well, it can be about adapting as well, moving with that flow of the number 8. Something about centripetal force I just heard. So there's a lot of power here. Okay, let's get into the cards. Okay, no, we'll just put it on top. We'll wait and see if it comes out. Whoa, like the cards are just like flipping everywhere. There's so much power here, group 3. New World. Okay, they said crashing down, and they showed me this foundation crumbling, this intensity. Now they're showing me this water spilling out of this, what do you call that? I don't know. They're saying hydro something, but I can't think of the name of this. Water tower, I guess, would be. This feels related to Atlantis, past. Yeah. Water is also the element of the sacral chakra, but they showed me fire there. So fire and water, masculine and feminine, is definitely significant here. Atlantis, a new world that's being created, something about the gateway. And you're at this crossroads now between the past and this new world. And I'm hearing that something about being initiated. That card, the initiated card, actually came up in something about grapes. They're saying grapes, great. Alexander the Great. And they're showing me aqueducts. I can't stay on a linear track in your reading, group number 3. No matter how hard I try to stay linear with a thought, it's like I get interrupted every single time. So, wow, yeah, this is intense and like forceful power that's coming in here. Awake. To awaken you. It is really strong. My God. I'm feeling it in my whole being. It's strength, but it's like, what do I do with this? And it's just like, okay, hold on. The end. Yeah, they were saying like the past, there was this ending that was crumbled everything and everything spilled out, or you're awakening to what happened in the past. How it ended, they're saying how it ended. It's just so intense. Okay, look at that. Land of Dreams and Awake. 1918. Past. Something about time codes or time release. A release valve. It's something from emotionally from the past. Water's emotion. Something emotionally from the past is being released, and it could be coming up in the land of dreams, but it's now making its way into your waking life because you're ending the cycle. Okay, and that's why you're at this crossroads of destiny, because it's all sort of coming into the now. Oh, wow. Rebirth, the phoenix. I shit you not. I have been seeing the phoenix for 3 days leading up to this reading, and I wrote it down in my synchronicities journal to talk about on my other channel. And here it is. So powerful. Fire and water, the initiation of this rebirth, the crossroads of destiny. This is meant to happen, group number 3. Independence. Oh. I just heard the fledgling takes flight. The fledgling takes flight. Independence. I heard bird of the dawn. What does that mean? Bird of the sun, they're saying. It kind of looks like a phoenix, what they're showing me, but not quite. It's different. Maybe it's an uninitiated phoenix. Mastery. On the path to mastery. Okay, something about what once blocked you. Oh, what once blocked your imagination. And the power that it holds. Okay. I heard the veil is slipping. So there's been messages about that in all 3 of these groups today. So even though they're different messages, they're all kind of holding a same similar energy and key within them. I just heard making flight ready. And look on the bottom, unknown. She's about to dive off into the unknown. Ready to take your first flight, group number 3? Because it's happening. It's happening. 3, 2, 1, launch. Go time. It's go time. Now, these two energies are interesting to me because this fledgling flight makes me feel like it's the first time you're doing something here, but this mastery makes me feel like, no, it's not. It's not the first time you're doing something. Maybe it's the first time in this lifetime, but it's not the first time. Culmination of vision. This card has made an appearance in all 3 readings as well. So there's connections in the overarching energy. Where should I put this? Yeah. Culmination of vision from dreams to your waking state of this new world. I'm hearing that won't be repressed anymore. Your imagination, it needs to be retrieved. There's something in your imagination. Maybe it's, I don't know, a way of using it that needs to be retrieved. It needs to be, the pressure needs to be released. The power needs an adapter so that it can move through and be used properly so that this vision can come to. Okay, they just said something came to a standstill. Or a standoff of some kind. Lots of butterflies I just noticed here as well. Butterflies here. There's some dancing around here. Oh, there's a bunch here too. I wasn't looking at those, but yeah. Transformation. Rebirth. And adventure. I swear all of these readings are connected because the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis was a literal card that came out in group number 1, and then the adventure card came out from a different deck, from this deck, in group 2. So all of these readings are indirectly or directly connected. If you feel called to more than one, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. You just trust your intuition. This feels like a big breakthrough. Hold on, let me see what else we have. Catch your breath. Yeah, definitely take a minute to breathe because this is a leap of faith. My God, is it ever? A leap of faith into the unknown. Realm of the Fae could be significant. Mushrooms. Oh, what is this? Like a psychedelic trip or something? Or is this just you psychically, doesn't have to be psychedelically, psychically taking a leap of faith into exploration of the past, or untapping of the hold on, they just said something about wicked potential, illumination. So there's something in the dark that's being illuminated. Reference to the underworld here as well. So something in the dark, the shadow, the past, the unconscious, something repressed is being illuminated, leading to the truth about your ideal course of action, this crossroad of destiny, and how there's grace that's occurring here. But there's something about this truth that was, I don't know how to describe this. Be your best self always, that heighten your vitality. This may have affected your energy levels. You may have repressed parts of your power because you felt unworthy of wielding them or of using them correctly, is what I want to say. Group 3. It's like you feared that what happened in the past would repeat itself, that you wouldn't learn from it, that you couldn't master this skill, this gift, this power, that it would be used against you, or that you would use it against others, against your own will, or out of alignment with your true intention. If this doesn't resonate, that's okay, because this is buried deep down. But if you've begun to explore this and unearth it and start to feel it, you'll probably have a tingling of truth. Okay, so breath of fire, breath of the wild unknown, a breath of fresh air. They're saying just breathe, and they're showing me somebody coming up out of the water like they've been down in the depths for so long. They thought they were going to die, and they finally get their head above the surface, and they're like gasping. Can breathe, can finally breathe again. Just so take a moment and just breathe. Because something had pulled you down. Four of fire, elder. It's like you had to retrieve something from yourself in the past. You had to call back your power, is what I'm hearing. And along with that is the wisdom of how to use this power. So that's why you didn't feel safe using it, if that's the case, group number 3, is because they're saying wielder of magic. Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft as well. That's the archetype anyway. So, this could have to do with manifestation or magic. Or psychic awareness. Yeah. The Four of Fire here, this red thread is really standing out to me. So there's definitely something fated, something destined here. Spirit said unequivocally. Unequivocally. Something about a vision of restoration coming true. Or just the vision itself being restored and that coming true. That could have been a manifestation of the past that was forgotten. And this is the result of it. We have the Fool, dandelion. First of all, the dandelion is making me think of perseverance and the ability to grow in adverse conditions and to proliferate at that, as dandelions tend to do. But it's like when that dandelion dies, the seed is cast out into the wind and just floats, aimless, drifts, until it lands and then is able to take root. So there's something about this sort of like virgin flight. The Fool card is that fledgling energy again. And being able to trust your wings and know that you can be independent now, or that you can trust your soul. Yeah, your spirit. You can trust yourself intuitively, psychically, with your power. It's interesting again, because like I said here with independence and mastery, it was like this is the beginner and this is the master. And here we have elder and the Fool. The elder, well, it's elderberry, but it's reminding me of elders. Somebody who has a lot of wisdom and experience, and the Fool who's at the beginning of that journey. So it's like you're merging these two together. That's the crossroads. Merging these two together. These two are meeting within you. And it's going to erupt or arise or be released through, I'm hearing a karmic death. Now, this is not a literal death. This is it's like an ego death, but that's not the right word for it. It's the phoenix energy, the death and rebirth. It's the end of one state of being, that's for sure. But it's coming at the hands of divine grace, like your own divine grace. 9 of Fire, wild cherry. I was feeling this wild energy, wild unknown. That's actually decks that we have here, the archetypes deck and the wild unknown animals deck, but breath of the wild and the wild unknown. It's calling you, or it's been calling you. Wild adventure. I just heard Fargo. That's so random. Fargo. That could be for someone very specific. Maybe it's like how far you'll go, but the first thing was like, oh, that's, the movie Fargo, or the show Fargo. The Emperor, hemlock. Poisonous, I heard. Hemlock. Yeah, hemlock is poisonous. Something about wielders of truth, feminine power reclaimed from the masculine tyrant. Okay, that just channeled right out. Feminine power reclaimed from the masculine tyrant. Okay. Something about being able to breathe again is part of that. It's like you, part of your power was suppressed, and then it may have literally made it harder to breathe, or it may have just restricted. I'm hearing windpipes. Yeah, the lungs. Heart chakra is connected to the lungs, but I was just thinking about how they're saying gateway or portal. That's the heart is the gateway or portal. That's connected to the wings as well, and flight, right? Because the back of the heart chakra is where those wings energetically protrude from the heart center, from the energy body. Retrieval, they're saying. Personal power. They're saying aqueducts of life, whatever that means. It's like, okay, maybe it's like a transit. Hold on, I just heard transit of properties, but I was trying to say like how you would move this water to where it needs to go. And the windpipes would be where you would direct that air where it needs to go. So again, it's like the resources were somehow what you needed to feel powerful, what you needed to be healthy or to have this vital life force energy was restricted in some way. And it could have been in the imagination, or it could have been, psychically your imagination was restricted, or I just heard liver. Purification. Something about density in the liver, heaviness in the liver, toxicity in the liver. And they're showing me water flowing over, they're saying water flowing over the river. But they were showing me water flowing over the liver. And now they're saying to deliver, and I'm seeing a baby in the river in a basket. There's so much coming through. Oh my God, it's all very symbolic. Something about the Nile. Atlantis. The Nile. Denial. Something was denied here. You were denied. They're saying proof of payment. The moon. Datura. Definitely something to do, something that's been presenting in your subconscious mind. Something that occurred in the past is imprinted into your consciousness in the land of dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. This could also show up in visions. You can have waking dreams as well. Whether it's meditations or hallucinations or visions or downloads or literal dreams when you're sleeping at night or lucid dream. There's so many different ways that this can come through. But some vision that you had hoped to manifest for the future is coming true. And it feels to me like a reclamation of this power. 6 of water. 6 of cups. Again, past energy. So, wow. I just heard, don't mansplain me. This is not like a feminist type reading, but it's because we all have duality of the polarity of gender. Sorry, we all have the masculine and feminine within us. And we've all been different genders in different lifetimes. It wouldn't serve the soul to stay in one gender indefinitely, because you wouldn't understand polarity that way. And that would defeat the whole purpose of getting to that unity consciousness, which is the whole point of incarnating in the first place. So yeah, there's something here about you understanding the nature of your feminine power and using it without its darker side, or actually more so using that darker side in effect towards the expression of it in the light. Meaning there's no denial of the darkness. There's an integration of it so that it's used wisely, correctly, and for the right reasons at the right time. Ace of Earth. I heard to build a better future. Nettle. I also just read recently, because I was having some allergy symptoms myself. It was hard for me to breathe. And I did read somewhere that an alternative for antihistamines, like traditional antihistamines like Benadryl and stuff like that, is actually nettle. And I don't have any nettle on hand, but I do remember reading that. And since they were showing me those windpipes or wind air constriction or lung constriction, not being able to breathe, and it's coming out on top of catch your breath, this feels both symbolic and literal. I just heard retrieval of what was once lost. So definitely retrieval of memories, retrieval of power, and it's those two go hand in hand. Ten of Earth, horsetail. They said sprouting up. They're saying from beneath the surface, sprouting up from beneath the surface. So definitely something's coming out of your dreams here. It's making its way into your reality for a reason, because it's gonna push you to embrace this power and to trust yourself. 10 of Water, red clover, 2 tens coming out back to back as well. 10, 10. And the 2 tens here are the positive ones. 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. These are beautiful visions that you had for yourself. And it feels like they never came true until now. They existed only in dreams until now. And the difference between now and then is that this time around you are wiser and you are willing to deliver. I'm hearing, and they're showing me that baby down the river again. Ace of Fire, mullion. Willing to deliver what? Innocence, they're saying. Okay, innocence. Ready to take that leap of faith. And the Chariot, cedar. I just heard the word flavonoids. I have no idea what that means. Flavonoids. Okay. Hydra of Fire. I almost wanted to say Hydra of Fairy for some reason. Fairy. Fairy. Fire elemental beings. California Poppy. Okay, hold on here. Let me just wrap my head around this. Feels like you're delivering the truth to yourself in this package of innocence and integrating that innocence with the wisdom of what happened, the wisdom of what didn't work, so that this time around you know how to adapt your power to serve you and others in a way that is mutually beneficial. I'm hearing to clear things up. They're showing me somebody clearing out the sinuses. This could be connected to the third eye or the throat chakra, because those are both connected to the sinus passageway as well. And the integration of these layers of knowledge from this wisdom within you from the past is going to help you to trust your wings now, even if it feels like you're doing it for the first time. Because not your first rodeo, okay? It's not like you've been around the multiverse, let's just say that. Thank you. Spirit was just showing me, they drew my attention to this red thread again, and they said, you found your way back to yourself. That was the mission statement. Now they said the word make believe. Imagination. Make believe. Make it real. Make the belief stronger. Believe in yourself. Trust that you can make it. The innocent part of you won't fall again. Never again. I realized that they were showing me this baby going down the river, and then I realized in this imagery that it's the river Styx, which is the river to the underworld. I'm hearing make the passage, and they're showing me crossroad of destiny again. Make the passage. You will make the passage. You have made it. Something about once around. Oh boy, okay. And they just said there and back again, which was a reference that they brought up in one of my other readings on my other channel. There and back again. Round trip. So you've come full circle on something here. Group 3. And you're manifesting a change from a very, very deep, ancient part of your soul that you are welcoming home and remembering. And this change is something that you wished for at a point in your incarnational cycle when it couldn't be achieved from that level of awareness. But now you have both the innocence and the wisdom. And you've combined those in such a way that you can actually produce the outcome that you sought at that time. This is the level of mastery that you've gotten to. So take your time. Take your time. Because there still may be some downloads of this that are going on or that are to come, or that are still being integrated. That's okay. Know that you have this grace all the time you need to be able to, I'm hearing protect your assets. And they're showing me this divine power, divine will. That's your asset there. Use it wisely. And they're talking about the direction and the cost. And earlier they were showing me how traditionally in Greek mythology, or in Greek traditions, even just traditions generally speaking, they would put gold coins on the eyes of the dead as the payment to cross the river Styx. It was like a toll that needed to be paid. And there's something about the direction and the fact that you are remembering the cost that you paid to do this round trip. So that's why now the direction matters. And they're saying imagination, directing your imagination intentionally to create, using mastery of the mind here, to create something with intention, something brand new, something that is derived from the past but not of it, Spirit just said. Derived from the past but not of it. Okay. Because it takes you beyond that, into the unknown. So it's not something that you've done before. And it's only in going around this full circle trip and coming back to where you started once again with this level of wisdom, meeting the old you and the new you at the same time, that you're able to put this in perspective and shift the reality in response to what you've learned. They're saying the toll that you paid. There was I don't know what the toll was, but there was some kind of toll that you paid. Okay, something about karma. Wisdom, but that's what karma is for. It teaches us about duality. We integrate that. It turns into wisdom. And then we come home to unity, to oneness, to the truth. And the highest truth is just that. Oneness. There seems to be a prophetic gift that maybe you've leaned away from here as well. And it's not about telling the future or foretelling things. It's about knowing what you have created for yourself without the restrictions of time, setting limitations. Interesting. That's what Spirit said. Knowing what you've created yourself without time influencing that or limiting that. Something about the white rabbit. Oh, the white rabbit. In Alice in Wonderland, it leads her into that underworld. And she follows him because it's curious to see that. It's strange. And she enters into her imagination land. But it's interesting because the white rabbit had that pocket watch and he was frantic because he was late. And they're talking about giving yourself time here. And how time is an influence, because we're talking about past and future. Time is an influence here. Like you can influence time. Okay, but they said the subconscious must be integrated and made whole for you to wield this power wisely. The darkness will not hold you if you hold it. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Wow, okay. And then I heard the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Lemonade. Making lemonade out of lemons since, I don't know, 3500 BC. Okay, anything else you want to say, group number 3, Spirit? They're saying take your time, ponder what you wish to hold, wield your power wisely. What you discern as the truth will guide you. Without wielding this power, you will wander until one day when you can trust it with faith once again. Why not do it now? And then they said the word wonder. Wonder. Imagination and wonder. Wonder at what is, as of yet, still unknown. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope this was helpful. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. Do your own introspection on the message. And definitely pay attention to your dreams and the symbolism within them. There's an emotional depth there that is showing you what needs to be resolved within this power dynamic inside you. Okay, so I'm sending you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for being here on the channel with me in these readings. And thank you especially to the members who support my work financially in that way, and to anyone who's donated to support my work in any way, shape, or form. Don't forget to check out my other channel if you feel called to it, because there's some downloads there that may be helpful or may correlate to this message. It's called the Divine Channel Collective Readings, and it's linked in the description box below. Thank you to everyone who's booked readings with me. I'm getting into the highest truth readings from the Spirit's Guidance readings now, so just keep chugging away on those and get them out in divine timing as I'm able. Thank you guys for your understanding and patience with me as I do so. All right, I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading.